Okay, I think it's after midnight. Not quite. 15 more minutes till midnight. Um, the last video was out of sync. I have made some changes. Um, I guess what I need to do actually before each time I make a video is actually check, to the thing and look for it to spike, which it's doing now. Also, I I talked in the past about um, going to something like this, except not this one. I had on the list a podcast microphone studio setup like this. I think the one I picked out was about $150, and I just popped this up. Oh, you can't see it. I'm sorry. I just popped this one up awful quick. In fact, it was the first one I saw, and this is not one that I want because of some of them. A lot of them have this thing here where you have buttons that are already pre-programmed. Maybe there are some that you can, program yourself. But these have things like clapping, naughty, great, kiss sound, fall, that kind of, and I don't need that kind of addition to it. Um, and I see this one apparently comes with a remote control. I don't even need that. But I think this is the way that I need to go with this. Now, it might be that this microphone isn't very good, but then I could replace it with one that's better, and maybe even one that's a condenser microphone, using, what is it, 5 point, I forget how many, because I messed with those in the past, those kind of microphones too. Not before you people were born, but a while back. But I might, if the microphone that comes with whichever one I get doesn't do the job, I'll just replace it with. And I think Elgato has the microphones, and other people have the microphones. But hopefully the one that I get for maybe about $150, when I can find $150, then if I have to, I'll replace the microphone. So anyway, let me drag this over here and you can see. Okay, there I am, and over here you see that the microphone is working correctly. And I'm going to clap. And that's working. Now there's some activity there when I'm not talking, and it's probably from the air conditioner or the heat furnace that's running right now. The reason there's this space up here is I had a banner running up there, and then I decided to take it off, and I may put it back up. And it's just a banner asking you to please go to the link that, if you use it, that link, and then you come to Amazon. Then if you purchase something, I get 1 to 3% basically is what it works out to. Let's see. Whoops, I can move this back. Over here are some of my QSL cards. I collected up, I started when I was in grade school listening to shortwave radio and sending off reception reports, and I mentioned in a book numerous times about those times and what I accomplished and didn't accomplish and stuff. I can see the QSL card from the USSR for, tracking Sputnik 1, but I think everybody knows that they sent those cards out to everybody. If you just sent it out like a QSL card, they'd send it to you. Where the, other stations, you have to prove that you did, receive the stations or whatever. Anyway, I had saved up all my QSL cards. When I got married at age 26, I still had my shortwave radio and all that kind of stuff. Darlene was 18, and she objected to the noise, so I couldn't. I didn't use my shortwave radio around her. If she was in the kitchen or something, I was in some other room, I would, but. She just wasn't interested in anything like that, and eventually, I took my QSL cards down. I finally put them out in the garage in some manila envelopes, several, and those manila envelopes, I should have known better. And I had them in the laundry room, and Darlene went out and did the laundry, and those big manila envelopes, I'm holding my hands up here, those big manila envelopes somehow fell on the floor in the laundry room, and the washing machine, I guess, leaked a little bit, and it was several days or whatever before I discovered that not all of my QSL cards were destroyed, but a bunch of them had gotten wet, and I just threw them all out. And later on, quite a few years later, on eBay, people were selling QSL cards, at small amounts of money and large amounts of money, depending on what they were. And Darlene was selling things on eBay like crazy, certain things, DVD. First it was VHS tapes, then it was DVD disc and stuff like that. And she didn't, then I told her, and I said, look here, I had a whole bunch of these QSL cards. Here's one that I had that is selling for $5, and here's one that's, that kind of stuff. And she just ignored it. But anyway, I do have that picture of NSS. That Benelux DX Club is from Holland, and I was doing a radio broadcast myself over shortwave radio, a program every week, and I set up in cooperation with that club, and then if you received my broadcast or whatever, you would get one of those cards, stuff like that. And I can't remember those were the good old days. I don't know if you can hear it in the background or not. Well, my son's in his room, I think asleep, but you might be able to hear a little bit of music. He gave me the money and to pay for what he wanted from Amazon, and it's $60 or whatever, one of those flashing disco type lights or whatever, and it's in his room. So you won't see the lights, but I might get him to loan me the light for a broadcast. So you, not that, but it looks like it's pretty, pretty good. But anything that keeps him occupied. Okay, I guess this is enough. I wanted to make sure that that the audio is working in sync. It wasn't real bad in the video before this, but it's much nicer when your lips are moving and the correct words are coming out. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.